Welcome back to the Stardew Valley Granny Challenge, the challenge where we attempt to achieve perfection while role-playing as a grandma who cannot miss a birthday, giving loved gifts only, also completing all help wanted quests, special orders board, and quick quests, you name it, we have to do it, all while taking 0 damage in the mines. Now, it has been brought to my attention that we did not, in fact, turn in a help wanted quest quite a long time ago. Leah, Ollie, welcome in. And we need to talk about whether or not we have to restart the file, restart the challenge. A wonderful commenter. Nobody else noticed this, by the way, but this is what I'm calling the Demetrius dilemma. It happened on attempt 5, episode 2. We're on what, episode 46 now? I saw the comment and I was like, no way. No way. So I went back, I went through the stream, I took a few screenshots. It was on Thursday, spring 11, year 1. And it was catching the anchovy. And I actually caught the fish. It was like catch 4 anchovies and return to Demetrius. Okay. Now, well, let's read the text closely before we make any big decisions. It says here, fishing anchovy. The local anchovy population is starting to threaten other species. If you can fish 4 of them for me, it would be a big help. Demetrius. Down here, and then it says it gets your reward, you get to keep the fish, return to Demetrius. The crazy thing, guys, is that we actually saw Demetrius. So what happened here is it was late. I went to the saloon to see if they were there, but Robin and Demetrius don't visit the saloon on Thursday. They visit either Friday or Saturday. And so I was like, oh, well, I'll turn it in on Friday. So then Friday comes around and I go to Robin's and Demetrius is right there. All I had to do was walk over and click on him. But instead, I got distracted. I got distracted because I needed to purchase wood from Robin to like make a kiln or something like this. And I was like, yeah, I was caught up thinking about that decision. And then we left and we spent the rest of the day fishing. And then I went home and, we didn't have our checklist manifesto in place. We weren't rigorously, before going to bed, double checking the quest log, the journal, looking at the calendar, etc. We didn't have the best practices in place to prevent this from happening. So yeah, we did not turn in one of the help wanted quests. And I can admit that this does in fact tarnish the purity of the run. However, when I first made the rule, to me, all help wanted quests were the same. But there are many different kinds of help wanted quests, right? There are the help wanted quests that I knew of are the kind where it's like, oh, hey, bring me a ruby or bring me this thing, where turning in the quest is equivalent to completing it. Like you have to bring the ruby to that person and give it to them, right? And if you don't give it to them, you didn't do the quest. But this is a different type of quest, or a different type of help wanted quest. Note that in the text that Demetrius wrote, he does not ask us to come give it to him. He does not ask us to come talk to him. He simply asks us to fish up the fish. And we did that. We actually did that because yeah, you can see from this screen, it does not, this text here, return to Demetrius, does not appear until after you've caught all of the fish. And so So I feel that we did complete it according to the request from the villager. What we missed out on was obviously the gesos, the reward, and the friendship points. But we don't lose friendship for not talking to them. And maybe this is more like a deed that we did in silence, that we did without recognition, right? That we did things simply for the good of the community, and uh, we did not take credit for it. So I'm willing to like I'm willing to move forward with the challenge is what I'm saying, because this wasn't such a categorical failure. And let's be honest, from the very beginning of the challenge, we have been making some adjustments to the rules in order to make the challenge fun. Um, and I feel like this qualifies within the flexibility. Did we complete it? Did we not complete it? I mean, we didn't complete it in the sense of turning it in, but we did complete it in the actual sense of what was asked for. And so maybe maybe going forward, these types of quests that are like collecting and fishing don't technically need to be turned in as long as you actually do what was here. Like if I didn't even if I didn't even fish for the anchovies, then yeah, we would have failed this, right? But we actually did it. But anyways, let me look at chat, see what you guys think. We got Natalie's here, Marina. Good to see you both. You did not do the quest, however, your intentions are pure. So it's basically a quest uncompleted. Yoba would forgive you. Oof. Yeah, when I saw that comment, and shout out to the person, I forget your username. Shout out to you for catching this and leaving a comment. Um, yeah, it's not an easy. I mean, it's a dilemma. It's the Demetrius dilemma. It's not an easy thing to resolve. But I was thinking about it, and I was like, man, does it fit within the lore that we've crafted, right? That the Junimos have sent Granny on this quest. Um, and she has to complete every help wanted quest, or we have to reset the challenge. That's always been what one of the rules. But I yeah, but the purity of the challenge is not the most important thing. At least for where I am now in the challenge, I do feel comfortable moving forward. And I apologize to the purists out there. If you feel like maybe I should restart, let me know. Actually, leave a comment. Let me know if you think that actually no, we got to go hardcore granny mode. Um, but but yeah, we've been learning a lot, and it is funny that it took so long for someone to catch this, because that I think that stream was back in like September of last year. That's that's how long the challenge is. Like that's how many hours we spend just trying to do this. And that's also why it's so important to be very diligent. So I'm not going to be like, oh, this doesn't count, and I'm just going to keep playing as normal, right? We are gonna we I decided we're going to add a checklist. Right? And I mean, for year one, we could go back and look and document all of these, but it's not important. We just need to document going forward from year two. Um, is there a birthday? What gift did we give? And look, we can as long as we check that there's no birthday, we complete the birthday, right? The help wanted quest I'll type in, so it'll be like whatever, fishing, blah blah blah, right? And then I can make sure that I can check off the fact that we did check for the help wanted, that we actually went to Pierre's that day, and that then we completed it, whether it was on that day or on the next day. um, I have to check this to show that we've completed it. And the same thing then for the special orders board, right? So that's the idea. Um, it might slow down the gameplay a little bit, but it's just part of the process. You know, you really do have to have like an overly stupid checklist system to ensure that overly stupid decisions are avoided, right? Or not decisions, but overly stupid mistakes. uh, Marina says, I don't know what to say. Welcome in, Zeobolt. Yeah. So Marina, you're on the fence. You feel like maybe we should restart it since we didn't turn it in. But who are we completing the quest for? And I do feel that if it was a more traditional help wanted quest that we just ignored, then obviously if we didn't give them the gift or whatever. But actually, you could argue that not turning in this quest is an even nobler action because the good to the community, right? The local anchovy population is threatening other species, right? The good isn't that we helped out Demetrius. The good is that we helped out the ecosystem that Demetrius monitors. So we've improved the community, we've improved the world by doing this. Um, though, yeah, and we didn't take credit for it. Returning to Demetrius, you know, is preferable in a certain sense because we do get friendship points. So the acknowledgement isn't purely selfish, right? But I'm of the opinion that we can keep playing, trying to avoid obviously, you know, forgetting to turn in or to you know to fully complete the quest. But the fact that we actually did it, though, the fact that we actually did it in spirit, that we appeased the Junimos, the Junimo magic was, what is it? Was appeased. And you know, and that's the other thing. Like, if the Junimos had had a problem with it, then maybe it should have been caught sooner. All right. Look, if evil Marnie Lunimo can exert powers beyond the confines of the game to influence me to forget her birthday and also almost forget Jass's birthday, then the regular Junimos need to have the same power. All right. And also, I think for the sake of like our sanity, like we have to recognize the challenge kind of requires us, like if you're going to go this purist route, you kind of need a mod, right? We need a granny mod that basically punishes you when you forget, so that the mod would keep track for you, so that if you forget a birthday, if you go to sleep and you forget the birthday, the file gets deleted and you lose everything, right? Or you know, something like that. But yeah, it's like, if it I can say honestly, if we had noticed this back when this happened, if someone had commented, you know, during the stream or on the next stream, I would have been like, okay, let's reset. You know, I just would have reset out of, you know, habit. But now looking back on it and having a bit more of a longer view of, you know, the what the challenge is really about, we did the challenge. We did the help wanted quest. we, we did the important part of it. At least that's kind of where I'm feeling. And you guys do like the checklist. Okay, good. It looks good. Super handsome. Thank you. Natalie is torn too. Oh no. See, maybe look. I'm of the opinion we should continue, but it could be. I'm not saying I'm 100% on that. I don't know if the community rises up with pitchforks against me, I could be swayed, possibly. I could be swayed. It's just tough because I do see the logic that we actually did the quest. We just didn't talk to stupid Demetrius, all right? You know, we just didn't go talk to him. And that's a minor that's a minor thing, all right? We uh yeah. Okay, Marina says turning it in would be important for me personally, but you finished the task by taking the fish out. I would prefer you turning it into the person in the next ones, but who am I? Yeah. Yeah. I am going to keep doing that. Like that was always the plan, obviously, right? We have to turn in every help wanted quest. But I think uh I think with this one we did actually do the it's of a different category of help wanted quests where we actually did the quest. We just didn't happen to talk to the person. Whereas in a more traditional help wanted quest, the turning it in and completion are coetaneous, right? They happen right at the same moment. You cannot do one without the other. This one, you can actually do the quest without turning it in. So you see there's like a separation there that needs to be respected or I guess understood. I'm just using big words to try to make my argument sound more intelligent and more strong. So, um, and Leah says, I feel like it's a fail. You technically didn't complete the quest. It clearly says you have to talk to Demetrius. Well, oh, I mean that's a fair enough point, Leah. But who is writing that? Who is writing Return to Demetrius? You know, because Demetrius signs off his name, and he doesn't say anything about uh, about returning to him. You know, maybe the other ones might do that. Does the text change? Like, is this text the same as when you first accept it from the quest board? Because if it says on the quest board that you have to like bring the fish to me, or I know Clint has some where he's like bring me the ores so I can inspect them, but you can keep them. Right? In that case, I feel like you do have to go talk to him because that's what he asked for. But Demetrius didn't ask me to come talk to him. Or did he? That's why I'm wondering. I'm like, shoot, maybe I need to go back and look at the stream to see what does the fishing anchovy text actually say. Ollie says, bro, if you restart, I might actually cry. And Marina says, where can I get to know the lore better? Because this slideshow looks so good. Hey, well, you know, over the months now of doing the stream, we've come up with all the lore. I don't have a specific video on this. I don't remember what streams where I've talked about it. But yeah, if you've been following, there's been moments where we take like an hour or maybe more to kind of go through some of this lore. Um, but yeah, okay, I want to see what else you guys are saying. Maybe I'm gonna put a poll. I can do a poll, right? Here, let's do that. All right. Should I restart the challenge? Yes or no? Should I restart the challenge as a result of not talking to Demetrius? There we go. I'm posting it so you guys you can vote. Vote with your heart, whatever you want. Um, my hair looks good right now. Thank you. Thanks for saying that, Ollie. That's the kind of energy I need after uh realizing we might have to restart the challenge. Oh man. Marina says, I feel so bad disagreeing with you. Well, that's fine. You know, I'm not, I don't know. I know that I knew that when I saw this that there could be differences of interpretation, of opinion. Some people might be more like, you know, hey, you have to follow the rules, right? You know, is this bending the rules? In my opinion, this isn't that much. It's not ideal, obviously. The intent was to turn in the quest. But if we look at the letter of the law, all right, Demetrius doesn't ask us to talk to him. Whereas the other quests actually require, like, ask you to come bring something to them. So that's where I'm starting to think, you know what, maybe it was the Junimos looking after us, knowing in advance that we wouldn't turn this particular help wanted quest in. So they inceptioned Demetrius to put the quest on the quest board so that then the challenge wouldn't be a fail. Because otherwise, if it was someone else that had required something and we would have forgotten, we would have I definitely would have to reset. Oh man, it is so close. It is, I don't know, can you guys see the percentages right now, or is it only me? Because 7 people have voted. We've got 43% say yes, restart. 57% say no. That's how close this is right now. I'm going to leave it up. I got to leave that poll up. Yeah, Leah says you did the quest but didn't complete it. That's that. Now that is an interesting, yeah. That's an interesting way of defining it. Um, let's go back up. What did we say up here? The rules: no missed help wanted quests. Does it say did I miss the help wanted quest? I mean I did it. I just didn't fully complete it, right? What does it say over here? Oh, on our rules, it says complete every help wanted quest unless a quest is impossible. Failure to accept/complete equals reset the file. Because, I mean, look, my opinion is that we should just keep going with it. And maybe it is a sort of tarnishing mark. And maybe we can come up with a creative way to make up for it, right? And maybe one day someone else will come along and do a pure granny challenge attempt and put me to shame, right? But we're paving the way. We are trailblazers, and maybe there needs to be a little bit more flexibility with certain things. Oh my God! No, wait, what the heck? 9 votes, and and it's flipped now. 56% of you say I have to reset the challenge. 44% say no. Man, I want to see. I can't see who voted which way, but I want to. I want to see. Oh no. Um, what is this? CA, the god above. Yeah, we ask Concerned Ape? Where is he? If Concerned Ape tells me to reset the challenge, then absolutely. And Marina says the chat is making you take accountability. I mean, I'm making the argument, all right? We took accountability by catching the fish and doing the good without taking credit for it. All right? Marina says maybe Demetrius cannot be checking the fish every day, so you delivering to him could be important to make him aware. Oh no, you're you're making good arguments. Luca, welcome in. We're voting on whether or not I need to reset the challenge after it has been brought to my attention that even though we did this fishing quest all the way back on episode 2, just by the way, over what, 43 episodes ago, we did not talk to Demetrius. We just totally forgot to talk to Demetrius. And now people are saying, "Oh, you have to reset the challenge." But I'm still of the opinion that it's worth finishing. But there is also a part of me that could enjoy resetting it. If we reset. But just, oh my God, guys, think about how much we've done. Think about your votes, all of you. Think about the gravity of what you would be throwing away for all because you guys are legalistic little people out there, all right? Think about this. We survived spring. That's no small feat. If we reset, we might be stuck in spring. I mean, for weeks of gameplay, right? Like, because each time I have to play through the first 2 weeks, and we might not get Haley's gift, and we have to reset, and that's like 6 hours per attempt. I don't know, maybe not six, but like three to 6 hours per attempt to play these first 2 weeks because we can't just like go to sleep. We have to be making money to be able to afford the gifts, and to start snowballing into the rest of the year. Um, right? And then in summer, uh, you know, I don't know. What did we do? We were like doing a lot of stuff. In fall, we have to survive Marnie's birthday again. That's no small feat, right? She's got telepathic powers. Winter, remember how much we did in winter? And we were like building and doing all this cool stuff and like gifting. It's like, and then, guys, this is the big one. Do you want me to really go back to Skull Cavern? Do you want me to go back to the Desert Festival and have to redo this? Remember on day one, it took us like 9 hours of gameplay just to complete day one of Skull Cavern. Uh, and then it was, yeah. It would suck to throw all of that away. And it's like, what sort of universe is this where Granny failed the challenge on day 11 or day 12 or whatever it was of spring, yet the Junimos allowed her to continue to persist in this parallel universe, um, for so long? Because at least when we failed the first attempt number 4, right? When we forgot Marnie's birthday, right? I noticed pretty soon, like right after the stream, I remembered. I was like, wait a second, I don't think we gave her a gift. And so I went back, watched the stream, saw it, and we were able to reset. But the Junimos let us. Why would the Junimos let us continue? Why would they let us do that? um, but yes. Natalie says, I'm so sorry for my vote. So I can already see. So I know some of the people in chat said are voting we have to reset. Natalie and Marina and Leah, at least. Leah says, I love following the rules and feel bad for breaking any. Oh my God. Oh, hold on a second. Wait. Yeah, okay. And you guys can see the percent as well. Okay. Yeah. We're in court deciding Granny's fate. You're trying to bend what is unbendable. Complete means complete. You technically missed completing the quest. Why are you guys so against me? I feel like I lawyered up and I made my argument that we completed it, right? I mean, we completed it by catching the fish. Return to Demetrius is additional text that was not in the original journal quest, right? Demetrius, for all we know, Demetrius might be annoyed that if we come and visit him. I mean, he's kind of pretty antisocial to begin with. So, what are we supposed to do? And May says, I bet Mr. Quee fudged a quest or two. That's a good point. Mr. Quee. Mr. Quee. Come on. What would Mr. Quee do? WWQD. And Marina says, you could create a story behind it, sure. It would be fun. but your vote is secret. And Natalie says, I'm kind of glad you can't see who voted what. Oh, Jay. Okay, yeah, Jay, welcome in. Have you voted? Because I was just explaining all of this. Let me know if you need to. I can explain it in brief again, but let me catch up with chat. This is very sad, says May. But if someone hadn't tattled on you, you would have never known. I mean, I don't blame the person who wrote the comment. In fact, I'm glad. I would prefer for people to be following the challenge and pointing out where mistakes are made. That makes it more fun for me, actually. So I don't think of it as tattling, but yeah, I mean, it sucks that this wasn't pointed out sooner. We could have reset sooner. I think that's also where maybe you know I feel conflicted. I know that the version of me back then would have reset the challenge. Does that say something about me now? Have I lost integrity? Like, what is it? You know, I'm not. I'm probably like saying something that I'm kind of destroying my own credibility here, right? Which is not good for debate, but but I'm honest, right? That back then I was more of a purist. But now I'm looking at it and thinking, well, we did the fishing quest. We caught the fish. We did the good. We did 99% of it, you know. And Demetrius is like the most ungrateful person in Stardew, right? Like he doesn't care if we talk to him about it. Of all the characters, he would probably care the least about being told that you did his quest. He would be the least thankful, the least grateful. He would probably start a debate with you about whether tomatoes are fruit or vegetables. That is what he would do. um, Zeobolt, you're the ninth vote. You say restart it. It's crazy that it's literally one vote difference right now. I think, what is it? Yeah, it has to be, yeah. Five of you are saying do a reset, and four are saying no. It's okay. Marina says, "Think about me that have not watched from the start." But oh my gosh, you just want me to reset so that you can have a fresh challenge to follow. What? uh, Luca says, "I don't want to reset." Why don't you want to reset, Luca? I think you should be allowed one mistake, especially since you've tried so hard to follow these crazy rules. Meh. Thank you for the generosity. I appreciate that. Leah says, think about around 5 hours straight of Granny doing skull caverns. Man, I know it's kind of funny. I joke about it, but at the same time, I enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun, actually. I, you know, I, I definitely I definitely want to continue the challenge because I feel so invested in this file, right? And I can taste the end. Like, oh, I feel like I can taste perfection. It's still a while away, but like we're really at like a good cruising altitude, right? And that feels really nice. I'm really happy about that. But yeah, I don't know. I am on the fence in the sense that I do love starting a new farm. Like I wouldn't. You guys should vote according to your conscience, and not how you think I will react emotionally. I only feel emotional because you guys aren't agreeing with me. All right, but like, restarting the challenge, it wouldn't be the end of the world for me. Like I could still have fun doing it. It's just that no, just know that the challenge is going to be extended. Like we're not, like we started this attempt back in like September. I think we did take some time off in December, but that's so many months, right? That's so many months. Like episode 45, 46, like that's how many episodes it takes. I mean, maybe I could play more efficiently, but you can't rush it. In fact, the reason we failed, or I look, I mean, I'm already adopting the language of the enemy. We did not fail, but the reason that that we did not turn in the quest to Demetrius is because we weren't playing slow enough. That I was like excited about doing all the different things, and especially when you start a new file, there's so many things to juggle, so many decisions to make. Um, uh, that yeah, it's like we needed to have a spreadsheet and a habit that any before we go to bed, we have to check our quest log. We have to make sure we didn't forget um, a birthday. Oh my God! Now there's 10 votes. It's split. It's split. Whoever that 10th person is, thank you. It could. I mean, it could change. It's split 50. I can't believe it's split. I thought for sure you guys would have agreed with me. Come on, Leah, all of y'all fake followers. No, no, I'm kidding. All right, you guys are you. The fact that you do disagree with me is actually a good sign, or at least that you aren't afraid to disagree with me. But yeah, okay. May says, yeah, there is a possibility that we could build it into the lore that this was a mistake, but it does fit within the possibility, within the grace of the Junimos, within the grace of Yoba. Um, it's possible, and maybe we could have to like start giving gifts like we did, where we remember we went to the altar and we left a ruby at the altar. We maybe need to be doing that more often. I don't know. But yeah. Leah says, sorry, but watching the Skull Cavern dives is very pleasing to watch, but only because of the sound effects. Swear I was hypnotized by the footsteps and ladder sounds. The Junimo story sounds good. Sounds like a fair remedy. Yeah, we can. I mean, the it's a mistake. I think that's where I feel like I'm okay with continuing it. I just want to be honest. I am okay with continuing it, not simply because oh, there's going to take so much time to get back to this point, but because I think it does fit within the lore and the story world that we've created for Granny. That yes, it is a sort of Groundhog Day scenario, and she does have to be reincarnated if she like forgets someone's birthday or doesn't have a loved gift for them. But we've had so many close calls. We've had so many close calls. I mean, Jas, we almost missed Jas's birthday. Why would the Junimos have preserved us? Why would Yoba have given us the grace to think of bringing a star drop tea that day? You know what I mean? Like if this run was meant to die, shouldn't it have died soon, like when this mistake happened, or soon after? Or maybe it's evil Marnie who has been keeping the challenge alive. Maybe evil Marnie knows the longer she keeps us in a losing parallel universe, the more time she has in the other parallel universes to work her evil magic. Maybe. That's a possibility as well. Oh, man. Love and story is more important. The attempt is secondary, says Zeobolt. Wait, let me come back here. Wait. Uh, Ollie says, I'm on your side, although I am a rule breaker. Yeah, look, yeah. I mean, we're blazing trails here. All right. The rules, they were more like pirate code, right? They're more like guidelines. Uh, your argument is too lawyerly. Let's just admit the genie most turned a blind eye one time. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe I'm working too hard to make it sound like it's all okay. When really what we need is the grace and the forgiveness and the mercy of Yoba and the Junimos above. And May says, if you had known about it at the time, you should have reset. But I don't think you should now. It was an honest and unknown error. I like that argument, or at least I'm glad you said that, because I do feel that way on some level, that doing the challenge without a mod that would keep track of it makes this way harder. Not that the mod should like be notifying you of anything, but just the fact that like, yeah, it's like if yeah, I feel like it should be the case that when you lose a game, you know that you've lost, and the game doesn't keep letting you play, and then you're like, oh wow, okay, I just wasted 9,000 hours on this one attempt that I thought was gonna succeed, but now I'm being told that 43 episodes ago that the right, that I failed to turn in this. The other thing is, though, here's another point. What if we made another mistake somewhere else in the challenge that we don't even know about? And it's actually a game ending challenge, right? And it doesn't have any of the lawyerly flexibility that I'm making up here. And then we'd have to reset anyway. That might be possible. It might have happened. If it happened to us here, it could have happened again later, you know? Yeah. Let's not blame Demetrius for your mistakes. Leah says you've done 99%, but it's still missing that one. It's still missing that one. Marina, it is a mistake, but made so long ago. It is hard. See, I'm bringing, maybe Marina, you might change your vote. Is it possible to change your vote after you've voted? You spent way too much time to end it because of something on episode 2, says Luca. Yeah. I mean, I'm open to I think I do feel I do feel emotionally, or I feel on some mental, there is a part of my brain, let's put it this way, that agrees with those of you that are saying we should reset, right? There's a clean and simple logic to it, because you're like, oh, I just the challenge, the rules, complete every help wanted quest. You didn't say at the beginning that you can complete some of the help wanted quests but not others, or like you could complete them in spirit but not have to turn them in. Like, shouldn't that have been there? Like, now you're just trying to weasel your way out of this. So I kind of understand. There's a part of my brain that's sort of like, yeah, that's what you're doing. But there's also a part of my brain that's like, no, not really. We shouldn't just jump to the legalistic interpretation as the correct one, right? Or the, and not legalistic, but the simplistic understanding, or the, I guess, yeah, that more simple. It's not, I don't know, simplistic is maybe mischaracterizing it as bad, but like the simpler interpretation of the rules. I mean, that's the other thing. We didn't know you could argue from a lore perspective that we don't really know the rules. It's the Junimos that created the rules, and we are simply just trying to interpret them. That this was our best interpretation of the rule set to complete every help wanted quest. But the Junimos didn't spell out all the details of like, oh yeah, the fishing quest. It's okay if you don't go talk to Demich at the end. uh, but yeah, Leah says, I'm sorry, I can't agree with you. I follow the rules too strictly. I did not think that this would divide us so much, but I shouldn't be surprised by it. I think I would feel bad continuing the challenge if then a lot of you guys are like, oh, well, I don't really want to watch anymore, right? Or this challenge just doesn't mean as much to me because now it's not as, what's the word? It's not as clean. It's not a clean attempt. It's been tarnished a little bit. I can acknowledge the tarnishing, the tarnishment. Even your parents have enough of you sometimes with like following rules. They're like trying to get you to break rules at this point, Leah. They're like, "Come on, live a little, Leah." Jay says, "I really enjoy starting a new file." Oh no, wait, Jay, so you voted yes to restart then. But wait, what's your argument besides just enjoying the new file? Natalie, I have a question about it. How long ago was the infraction? Is there a statute of limitation? Yes. Speaking of lawyerly, I didn't even think of this. There could be a statute of limitations, right? Like in real life, if you commit a crime and nobody prosecutes you for that crime, years later, after a certain time, like decades later, you can't then be brought to justice. It's like, look, the window of opportunity for the justice system to punish you has expired on this type of crime. And you could argue this is a very minor crime that we committed to Demetrius, right? We did the quest, we just forgot to talk to him. It would be a totally different crime, like the statute of limitations on failing to give a birthday gift, right? That never expires. Like we would have to reset the challenge, right? That to me, like when I started when I had the idea for this challenge, it was mainly birthday gifts. I was thinking like, what if you played Stardew and gave a loved gift on every birthday? How hard would that be? And I was like, oh, actually, that's kind of hard. But I also thought like, well, it would be hard in the first like month or season, but then after that, it probably wouldn't be that hard. So that's why I was like, maybe the challenge should have a little bit more extra to it besides stockpiling gifts. Why not add in, yeah, maybe in addition to the birthdays, you also need to uh do the help wanted quests, because that's something that the villagers are asking for, and Granny in her heart cannot fail to do, right? She has to do them, or she passes out and wakes up on day one, spring one. um oh my gosh, we have 11 votes now, and it's in favor of no, that we should continue the challenge. The other, I mean, the other thing is we could finish this attempt and then maybe do another one anyways. Although, and I haven't mentioned this, but I have thought about doing a different type of challenge after this as well. I would love to do a grandpa challenge. and and actually, I would love to try to do, and this doesn't necessarily have to be the grandpa challenge with this rule set, but it could be. I would love to do a perfect damageless Stardew perfection run, where taking damage resets the file. That would be the greatest video gaming achievement in my life, right? And in all of Stardew even. I don't know, maybe like, I don't know, doing some of these other speed runs maybe requires more technical skill or whatever. But like doing a perfect damageless run would be crazy. But I've been thinking about it, and it's possible. It's possible. It might be very painful to watch, but that's also, I think, the crazy thing is like, imagine going to the mines, watching me go to the mines, knowing that the smallest mistake, boom, we're done. How are we going to kill 500 dust sprites? And like, you have to play super conservative. You have to be very careful doing it. The way I would do it is just farming the slimes on the first 5 floors to get the slime ring. Kill 1,000 slimes, get the slime ring, and then you're much safer, because then slimes don't do any damage to you. That makes life a lot easier for the rest of the game. It also makes the secret woods safe, because I was thinking, I'm like, how do I get to the secret woods? Because there's a chance that a slime will spawn literally on the tile that you enter the secret woods on, and it's impossible to dodge. But if you have the slime charmer ring, then you would be safe. But yeah, doing all the other stuff like Skull Cavern and everything, like how would you? It's definitely possible though, but very difficult. So I've been thinking about trying that. I feel like it would be a fun, crazy challenge. But anyways, that's totally different. Marina says this discussion is too much fun. Honestly, I'm surprised that I thought we would talk about this and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But I'm also glad that it is such a big deal to you guys because that shows to me how much you care about this little challenge. Oh, yeah. But yeah. If there's any data, I think it would show that you accepted 100 quests, but you completed 99. How do you feel about it? Um, how would I feel about that? Well, I mean, I think also that's the problem. What does it mean to complete a quest, right? Yeah, so we didn't turn this one in, but we did do it. That's, I think, where I kind of feel like there is some flexibility for me personally, emotionally, spiritually moving forward with the challenge. But actually, if you guys can't change the vote, how about this? I'm going to put the poll up again. I know. So we'll just remember there were 11 votes. It was 6 in favor of continuing the challenge, not resetting, and whatever, 5 wanting to restart the file. But let's do it again. Just in case if you changed your vote, you probably haven't. But maybe you did. Maybe someone posted a comment here that made you think otherwise. But yeah, okay, wait. I'll ask the same question, and I'll say no. Yeah, okay. It's the same question. Should we restart the challenge? And you can vote again. Also, isn't it fun to vote and stuff? All right, you get democracy. All right. Yeah, it is hard. It was made so long ago. Yeah, Luco does say you spent way too much time to end it because of something on episode 2. Yeah, it is tough. Like, I could restart it. It wouldn't be the end of the world. But yeah, I don't know. Hold on, let me. Damageless, if you think this one was hard, ouch. Yeah. Worse than that guy who's trying to collect 999 of every single item. The algorithm, yes. I mean, I don't know if it's harder than that. The 999 challenge might actually be, well, I don't know about harder. They're different. They're very different types of hard. I feel like the 999 challenge takes more time. Like it just takes more time to do all of that. Depending on your strategy and how often you have to reset the file doing the damageless run, it might end up taking even longer. But arguably, it should take less time, right? If you just play perfectly, you could get perfection in a normal amount of hours, right? Like that's the crazy thing about it. And I think that's also what's so appealing about it is that like you can actually do it certainly in less time than the 999 challenge. But the number of times you don't need to reset the 999 challenge, right? There's no criteria in which you would ever need to reset the file. It's just the time it takes to collect everything. And Luca, you're saying the slingshot would be very good for that challenge. Maybe I need to start practicing with the slingshot because I'm not as familiar with it. Jay says, however, I won't be mad if you continue the save. I will still watch. Leah, to complete the quest, you get a small bing bing notification in your journal. Leah says, I hate democracy. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't put it to a vote. Marina says, I still didn't vote. Um, yeah, all you have to do is be absolutely perfect and have no accidents ever. Simple. Yep. That's the grandpa challenge. Okay, what the heck? Now we're back to 56% saying, oh, well, actually, no, no, no. Whoa, okay. We have 10 votes, and it's 60% saying no, continue the challenge. So even more people want me to continue this file. And yeah, I don't know. I almost feel like I came into this feeling more confident about continuing the challenge. But hearing you guys that want me to reset has also made me feel like maybe I'm on the fence a little bit. Like I kind of want to reset because I do understand that logic, right? The purity of the challenge. But I also do feel like, yeah, we are playing without a mod that keeps track of these things. Because then because then at least you would be able to reset when you make the mistake and not 6 months of real life later, you know like, when the statute of limitations should have expired on it. How Yeah, also you got to think about it. This live stream had over 600 views on it and nobody noticed until one person left a comment and was like, and thank you for that, whoever you are out there. Whenever you do catch up to this part of the stream, thank you. um they left a comment, uh and and the fact that nobody noticed, I think that's also a testament to how difficult the challenge is, not just to remember to do the right thing, but also to remember when you've not done the right thing. How do you remember that you forgot something, right? That's like, it's almost too much of a burden. We would need to like make a mod or something to that actually like keeps track of, like, if a mod could keep track of your failed help wanted quests, right? That would keep track of every help wanted quest you've accepted, and or whether or not you even, not just that ones that you've accepted, but keep track of all the ones that have appeared on the help wanted board. And if you fail to go and check it, if you fail to complete it, to fully complete it, then yeah, then you would have to reset, and the game would actually encourage that, right? It would actually force you to reset. It wouldn't be like, you wouldn't find yourself in this awkward scenario where you're almost at the end and now you're like, oh shoot. But yeah, we're at 60-40. Wow. Yeah. But yeah, Marina, you did it? You changed your vote, Marina? What? Marina, you were so adamant against it. Please create the lore around it. Maybe that'll be our compromise then. There has to be really good lore around this, and we can create it together a little bit, especially because of all people it happened with, it had to be Demetrius. If it was Willie, right, and we failed to go talk to him, that would be more devastating in on a lore level. But the fact that Demetrius is the one, like, come on, come on. Okay, okay. I feel like we should play Stardew at this point. We've been talking about this. We've I've really beat it to death. I apologize if this is like really long-winded, but I did want to get all of your your perspectives, and I wanted to think through it myself as well. Um, we got 60% saying to continue. I feel comfortable with that. I feel comfortable that we can create some lore around this, and I don't know. This is a good point. Does this make us hate Demetrius, or does it make us kind of like Demetrius because we got away with it? Maybe the fact that Demetrius is so aloof, right? This is part of Demetrius's personality, is that he lacks like social awareness, like he's not emotionally attuned. Like he says things to Robin that are kind of rude, but he doesn't realize he's being rude. But the reverse of this is that he doesn't register if someone else is being rude to him. Like to him, it's just totally normal. that you would behave in this very logical fashion or whatever, right? But so maybe the fact that he didn't register, like all the other villagers, they would have registered something emotionally if we didn't turn in the help wanted quest, if we accepted it and never turned it in. And then that would have triggered the Junimo magic, right? The Junimo magic is some like ethereal, you know, layer where emotions are tapped into it. It would have set off an alarm bell and the Junimos would have rewound time. But because Demetrius lacks that that emotional part of the brain, it just passed through the ether, and then the Junimos were like, "Hey, it's your lucky day. It's your lucky day, Granny. You did the quest, so you checked off that, and you didn't cause an emotional disturbance in the Junimosphere, so we get away with it. All right. I need to create some lore around the Junimo ether and how it all fits together. But yeah, Leah's upset. Now it's a dirty run, filthy, fishy. No, it's not that bad. Hey, Brianna, welcome in. How are you? I can't believe I've watched so many of the VODs, and this is the first live I've caught. Don't reset. It's Demetrius. He was probably thinking too hard about his samples. Well, thank you for coming in, Brianna. And you cast a vote, I think, just now for no. So now it's 64% saying no to restarting. And Loki Koki, welcome in. New to this channel, what is going on? We are having probably the most divisive dramatic moment of the challenge, because um, someone brought it to my attention that in episode 2 of this attempt, back in like September of last year, we failed to talk to Demetrius to turn in this help wanted quest. However, we did all the fishing. We actually completed the physical aspect of the quest. We just didn't go talk to Demetrius. And by some definitions, like Leah feels that, you have to go talk. It's 99%, but there's still that 1% missing. It's not complete. You didn't complete the help wanted quest. So by that definition, we failed. We need to reset the file, because this is one of our goals. Granny can't miss a birthday. She has to give a loved gift on every birthday. She also has to complete every help wanted quest. And I've said that at the beginning of every stream, basically. Like, here are the rules. We have to complete every help wanted quest. And by that definition of complete, we failed to do it. However, now we've been debating, the statute of limitations has expired for bringing Granny to justice in the Junimo court of law. And now it's whatever happens, there has to be a lot of lore. And I shouldn't say this, but I can also imagine a world in which resetting the challenge would create a lot of lore as well. Continuing the challenge, we can create all this lore about how the grace of Yoba, preserved us. But you could also create a lot of lore about how, in fact, it was the malice of evil Marnie who kept us in this failing parallel world, so that we would be stuck here longer, preventing us from resetting the file to then complete the challenge. And if you're completely new, none of this is, oh my God, you're going to be so confused. Marnie is evil, but not the real Marnie. Marnie's spirit has been cast out into one of the cows on the farm, and a fallen Junimo has taken over her body. And so that fallen Junimo is like the Lucifer character, Lunimo, and he is like orchestrating, he or she is orchestrating all the evil. And so it's entire, and she was responsible for us resetting the challenge last time. So it almost would make sense that this would fit her prolonging our demise, showing us what could have been. giving us a taste of how it feels to achieve 3 days in Skull Cavern, right? And coming up with over a stack of iridium ore and 18 prismatic shards, only for it to all be taken away by by a helpful viewer leaving a comment 6 months later on an old live stream video saying, oh, by the way, you didn't turn in this journal quest. Oh my god. Yeah. But okay, now we have 16 votes and it's still 56% in favor of continuing. But it's a tough. I mean, it's not clear. It's not clear. You'll forever you'll forever remember that this run is dirty and will remind you whenever I can't. Leah, oh my god. Oh. Wait, grandmama, it's me, Anastasia. Wait, what is this a reference to? I don't know. That like a movie probably. Yeah. Not only creating lore, but the definition of the stuff. Tyler has homework. You're welcome for your new favorite phrase. And Buse, welcome in. How are you? Now I have to watch all the previous live streams, Loki Koki. Well, oh my God, it's been crazy. All right. I mean, we've got slides on slides of lore. All of these, like, here, this is my favorite bit of lore. The henchman is actually Granny's long lost husband, who was transformed from a human into a goblin through a Junimo blood magic ritual gone awry, because he was terminally ill and they couldn't cure him in Zuzu City, and so they came to the valley, and the witch and the wizard tried to save him, but he's technically saved. He's still alive. He was cured, but at a great cost, and his memory was wiped. And so Granny's really sad about that. She lost her husband. We do need, I'm surprised we don't have a slide with Willie on it. How is that possible? Because we've built so much lore around Willie, or at least, I don't know, is there lore around Willie, or is it just that he's kind of like the driving force for Granny's happiness? Like she's not like obsessed with him, but he just brings joy to her just by existing as Willie in the world. Like he's just so great, and she's in love with him in a way. And of course she's conflicted because she's still technically married, and she never stopped loving her husband, but she also has to accept the fact that he'll never be capable of loving her back again because he doesn't even know who she is. He's a goblin creature now. So, yeah. Granny's got a lot of conflict in her life. She's been through a lot, all right? But oh yeah, also one of my favorite slides to build was this one. The very complicated genealogy. These are the relationships that we've established, and there could be even more relationships yet to be uncovered. But yeah, also, and of course, Marnie with her illicit and inhumane breeding operation in the dungeons beneath the farmhouse. That's going to come out in the 1.7 update. Concern date. Create a dungeon under Marnie's where you have to go liberate the animals. Because where else do they come from? How does Marnie have all these animals? You never see them on her farm. They have to come from somewhere when you buy them, and they show up immediately on your farm. It's very suspicious. Oh my gosh. Oh, and Mechanic, you accidentally voted twice? Wait, how do you vote twice? I thought you could only vote once. But I don't know. You're okay with it either way, May, but you think the Junimos are a little more understanding. Yoba knows your intentions were good. Yeah, I kind of feel like there has to be some grace. Like if it had been caught in the moment, on episode 2, if we had realized then, it would have been so obvious. Yeah, let's just reset. But now that we've passed it, that Yoba has allowed us to persist in this version, this parallel world, then we have to honor that. We have to honor that and continue. Leah says, I can be super annoying, all caps. Do not underestimate me. Filthy run, by the way. Granny has to get a little dirty, all right? She's just. The reward is 120 pesos, so maybe you could donate like 1.2 million to make up for this little. Oh, that's a great idea, Buse. We have to establish what is the interest rate, you know? Right? That would be a crazy interest rate that we have to donate 1.2 million pesos. That would be how do we do that though? I guess we would just save up a bunch of starfruit wine. We could save up. I mean, is 1.2 million the right amount? I do like this idea that we need to pay it back. We need to pay it back somehow. So maybe I can make another poll and we can decide on a punishment, or not so much a punishment but a penitence, right? Like Granny, this isn't the inferno, this is the purgatory, right? Purgatorio. We are Granny, her soul is being refined and improved. Um, so maybe she needs to have some sort of penance that would bring her back into good grace, right? We can wash the filth away. Leah, we can wash the filth away. How much? Because like one idea could be we have to give 120 iridium quality starfruit wine, or 120 what is it? Prismatic shards. That would be dirty. That would be painful. 120 prismatic shards sounds harder than 1.2 million. 1.2 million G is like nothing. We make that in like a week. But 120 prismatic shards would be many, many days of grinding in the mines in Skull Cavern. But also, when do we pay it back? Is there an interest rate that keeps accumulating as we continue playing? Or should it just be a flat price that we pay? Because arguably we could just complete the whole thing and then wash away the sin at the very end. But or do we oh yeah, what is the punishment? Maybe we have to unlock. What if we this is pretty horrible, but I'll say this. One idea is that we have to get to floor 120 of the mines and unlock the hard version of all the monsters, right? If you don't know, when you get to floor 120 of the regular mines, all the monsters in the game, in the mines, in Skull Cavern, and on the island in the volcano, they all get a huge stat boost. Their health goes up, their defense goes up. The chance that you miss one of your attacks also goes up. Like it just makes everything way harder. And one of our goals is to not take any damage, right? We have to reset the day if we ever take damage. So it would be much, much harder to complete the monster eradication goals. Although it would give us access to Skull Caverns every day as opposed to only during the Desert Festival. That could be one of the punishments. Am I even going to play Stardew on the stream? Because I mean, I do enjoy the lore crafting and coming up. I feel like there should be some price that we pay. Maybe that's also part of the problem. We're voting yes to continue or no, but maybe there needs to be more of a price, right? Leah, what price could be paid to wash away the sin? Is there any price that could be paid besides resetting the file? Okay, it's from the quote you said earlier is from the animated movie Anastasia, where Anna's grandma is looking for her and another old woman tries to pass herself off as the princess. I don't even remember this movie, Anastasia. It sounds familiar though. Yeah, you do feel that we just need to make the decision. Yeah. I think I'm definitely leaning towards we continue, but we pay a very difficult price at this point. I think the decision is we continue. But what price do we need to pay? And maybe we can talk more about it before like voting, but I could put another poll up to see. Um, what is this? I believe Evil Marnie wants you to complete the challenge in a corrupt attempt for some nefarious reason. Yeah, it's like Sauron, being destroyed when he loses the ring, but somehow still surviving. His essence is bound to the ring so that even in defeat, there's still some small chance that he can come back, right? And Mechanic, you voted with an alt account. Wait, so maybe it wasn't so close then, huh? You agree some kind of amends to wipe out your sin is appropriate. Yeah. Punishment could be you have to get the skull key now. That 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 does feel like the worst punishment. Although I don't know, is the skull key because the 120 prismatic shards, the 120 prismatic shards is probably the worst because that's really hard to get, especially without taking any damage. But and it basically that would kind of force us to get the Skull Cavern key because we would need Skull Cavern to get the prismatics. The luck just isn't there to get it from fishing and whatever. You'd have to just grind in the Skull Cavern. Wait, views, you're saying 120 is a lot, maybe 12. I feel like 12 isn't enough. 12 is too easy. 12 is, yeah. Unlocking the hard version is fair, May says. You could create a room in Granny's house for Yoba or whatever, yeah. Leah, I'm asking the worst person ever this question. What is a punishment? 12 days drinking beer constantly so you will be slow and drunk. Oh my God. Uh, no espresso? Maybe the voting could be for the amends. What are the remedies we should consider? Floor 120 feels perfect because you'll feel it. Oh, it's floor 120. I didn't even realize, literally 120. We have to get floor 120 now. I really think that's the punishment. But maybe we have to do something more as well. You think the drunk granny idea is hilarious? Let's go with that one. 12 days of drunk granny. And oh, but 12, that's so long to be drunk granny. That's so long. It's gonna be so painful for you guys to watch that. Uh, it's also a great IRL challenge. No, no, no mechanic. I can't believe I let someone down. I need to drink my sorrows away now. Uh, make a poll for the penalties. Okay, I'll start writing some of them up. But yeah, a lot of you guys seem like the skull key is a good one. Yeah, democracy, idiocracy. All right, I'm gonna start another poll. All right, I know we're like postponing actually playing Stardew this evening, but this is so important because I don't wanna skip over this. Okay, what punishment would wash away Granny's transgression? Okay, the first one I'm gonna put will be floor 120 skull key. Um, and I also want to put in parentheses like monster boost. Oh, it's I can't type any more than that. Okay, there you go. So that's the reason. It's not the floor 120 is that bad or difficult. It's that all the monsters get a boost. What is another one? 1.2 million geishos. I'll add another option. 120 prismatic shards. And is there another option? Did we say anything else? We did say 12 days of drinking beer constantly. um, throw the hammer in the trash. Although, mechanic, that wouldn't be too bad. It would be annoying to have to re-enchant it. You know, getting the shards would be really tough. Or not tough, but it would just be annoying to have to go and get the cinder shards again. But that actually isn't that bad because we can just buy the hammer. Like the hammer costs like nothing. It's like 75,000 gesos. It's nothing. So glad you didn't have class today, Ollie. How could you have missed this? Or throw away all the weapons. I'm gonna veto the weapons because I think that's too easy. I can just replace the weapons. And I don't even really need the weapons right now, right? Like I can buy the weapons back. You think it should be skull key plus something something. Um, yeah, I'm gonna agree with that. I'm gonna agree that we get the skull key. So I'm actually gonna change this one. So floor 120 with the skull key is a requirement. We have to do that now. That's also kind of a relief that now we have access to Skull Cavern, so we can go whenever we want. So there is a little silver lining, but what are the other options? We've got one. So in addition to the Skull Key, do we pay 1.2 million gesos, pay 120 prismatic shards? There's 12 days of drinking beer constantly. In a way, that's like, to me, that seems like the least fun because it just slows the character down. And 12 days is a long time in Stardew to be drinking beer constantly. And I mean, in terms of lore, it doesn't quite fit Granny. You know what I mean? Like Granny doesn't drink alcohol. You know, she's like very prim. She's very proper. Okay, you know. But I don't know. Maybe that's why it could be a good punishment. I'm open to that possibility, so I'll keep it on the list here. Um, but yeah, no, Leah, the skull key is actually a huge point because we still need to do monster eradication goals, and it's going to make the monster eradication goals much harder because now I won't be able to one shot enemies as easily. They have a huge health boost. So even though you're right, I don't really need to go to the mines for resources. We still have to go to eradicate all the monsters. So that's the reason the Skull Key is so devastating. Change rules to reset file after damage. Oh, mechanic. Oh my god. I mean, that is interesting. That oh no, that would turn this into a hardcore run. That's kind of funny though. That's a funny idea of like if it yeah, maybe what if that could also be oh, that's an interesting idea. If you mess up, if you like for example, if you miss a birthday, right? If you do anything that could reset the file, maybe you get a last chance. There's got to be some better way of like a better catchphrase for this, like a Hail Mary, right? That the game goes into hard mode. And like in Terraria, right? You go into hard mode and any damage that you take, immediately you have to reset the file. So it would be effectively like resetting the file, especially if you made the mistake early in the file. But like, I don't know. That I'll put that as the option. Like hard mode, any damage, reset file. I'm gonna put that up there. That could be an option. I personally think that's too harsh. Like that essentially guarantees we have to reset the file. Uh, but I'll put it up as an option that we have to enter hard mode. Okay, I'm gonna make the poll now because I can only put 4 options, so I'll put this. What do you guys want to vote on? Views, you feel that the skull key is, yeah, just not enough. So yeah, yeah. We're gonna get some. We're gonna get the skull key and then do some extra. You're so excited for the stream. Can't wait to get home. So walking to home while watching the stream in this cold ass weather. Leah still feels that this is a filthy run. No, you guys cannot be voting for hard mode. What the hell? I should y'all are sadists. Y'all are horrible. I shouldn't have even put that on the list. 30, well, oh, it's really close. 30% say hard mode. 30% say 120 prismatic shards, and another 30% 12 days of drinking beer constantly. Well, at that point, I would gladly just drink the 12 beers constantly, or the beers for 12 days constantly, than to have to go to hard mode. Because guys, we still have hundreds of slimes to kill. We still have, I mean, 100 more, like, what are they? The serpents, and not to mention the pepper rexes. Oh my gosh, and void spirits and hard mode would be nuts. It's tied between hard mode and 120 prismatic shards. Okay, here's here's my argument also from a lore perspective. Hard mode should have been activated the moment we failed to turn in this quest. Right? Like it's only because we've noticed now, right? So we would have had to reset the challenge like 100 times already because of how many times we took damage in Skull Cavern, etc. Right? Maybe not 100 times, but a lot. But yeah, it's really tied between hard mode and prismatic shards. Jay says, I think the damage one's too hard. Might as well start a new save. Yeah. Leah, is this still not strong enough for you? Imo, you voted for Drunk Granny, don't blame you. Ollie, you did not vote for hard mode. Don't, oh yeah, Kaimo says, come on guys, don't do something we all regret. Maybe I'll do another poll and it'll be just between the prismatics and hard mode. Kaimo says the 12 days of beer is obviously the funniest run. What's wrong with it all? So it is a tie between hard mode and prismatic shard. So I'm going to start a new poll. Just between those two. All right, I'm just going to write punishment, hard mode, and 120 prizzies. If you had to choose between those two. uh, Natalie, you wanted floor 120. You didn't mean the hard mode thing. Okay, yeah, maybe I was confusing you guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, we are going to get floor 120. I'm making an executive decision that it's first of all, it's very poetic that the reward was 120 gesos and the punishment should be floor 120. 120 floors. And now and it is kind of hard mode in a sense that the monsters are harder, but what I mean by hard mode is actually that we have to reset the file when we take damage. And that will be in addition to the monsters being harder. Think about that. The monsters will be way harder, and we'd have to reset the file from any damage. Yes, we are voting what Tyler has to do on top of floor 120. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kaimo both suck. You can't vote now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The beer thing. I don't know. It didn't get as many votes, so I want to narrow it down. Should we put? Yeah, we maybe we have to put a deadline for the prizzies. Um, the beer would have been funny, says Brianna. Yeah. Or do I do all of them? I mean, I could do all of them. Eh, or I could do all of them except for hard mode, where we do 12 days of beer, we pay 1.2 million pesos worth of starfruit wine. We what is the other? We have to get the 120 prizzies. We could do all three as punishment. That's actually, and it's kind of poetic because we go from 12 to 120 to 1.2 million. 1 week for the prizzies is not possible. I don't think it's possible to get the prismatic. Like on the best possible luck day, going down, like I'm trying to think of all the Skull Cavern runs I've ever done in my life. Even when I'm taking damage and I'm just bombing the floor and doing everything, I've probably gotten a maximum of 12 prismatic shards on one run. And that's insanely good luck, right? I think on average I would get like 3 to 5 per day. So in 1 week, we would need like 14 to 15 prismatics, per day. It would effectively kill the run because I would just be skull cavern diving for hours and hours and hours, resetting the day over and over again. But we could put another deadline. It doesn't have to be one day. Do all of them minus hard mode. All of them would be fun because it's easier than resetting. That's true. Yeah, I mean the beer thing is very annoying though. All is so much better than hard mode. Yeah, I kind of like the idea. We could do all of them. If you're gonna do all three, no deadline, says Buse. Yeah. Um, I'll think about the prizzies. I mean, it could be like one prismatic per day for 120 days, for basically a year, right? Well, wait, how many days are in, is it 128, right? 28 times 4? Yeah. Well, at 1 year is 112. 112 plus 8. We could, maybe that could be part of the challenge. Then we have to constantly go to Skull Cavern because we currently have 18 prismatics. So we have 18 days, but we basically would just need to go to Skull. We'd have to be doing Skull Cavern runs. Oh man, that actually might be really dangerous though, because I don't know if we will have enough stair staircases. Because when we went those other times, we had like over 100 staircases to get that far down. But actually, if you think about it, we only need to get lucky a little bit, right? We only need to get one prismatic per day. Ideally, we want to be going on a Skull Cavern dive and loading up, right? Getting a lot of prismatics. And I mean, it would help us to kill more of the enemies, right? And we don't have to use that many staircases, right? We can still just play it normally, and you'll still get prismatics. The tricky part is that the prismatics drop from iridium nodes. They have a 3.5% dropping from each iridium node and a 3.5% chance. And the iridium nodes really don't start spawning until past floor 50. And even then, it's very few until you get to floor 110. Floor 110, that's where it reaches the maximum, whatever, spawning rate. But yeah, okay, and you guys, yeah, you did vote for the Prizzies over hard mode. But let me ask, I got to get one more poll. Well, I mean, we don't need to do another poll. I think we already know. We got to do all three. But then the question is, how do I have to do I have to donate a Prizzy every day or just on average every day, right? So maybe we can donate some in advance. Or is it like something we have to do every day? We have to go to Yoba. We have to go to the Chapel of Yoba and leave a prismatic shard on the ground every day. Oh my god, that would be so mean. It's so painful that I kind of want to do it. There's also something beautiful that Granny Fern is so generous that she's just giving away prismatic shards. Oh my god. That's crazy. Um for yeah. Why 120 specifically? 120 is the number I missed. So that's kind of why. Got to go get your boyfriend from work, Kaimo. Well, yeah, Leah, I know we'll never be able to satisfy Leah. I know. But um man, this is such a crazy the I yeah, make an offering to Yoba. I mean, we did do that. We gave a ruby. But now, okay, I'm gonna write here start penance, right? And the penance is 12 days. Okay, one question, do I get to pick the days when we have beer, or does it have to be 12 consecutive days of uh drinking beer constantly? That's crazy. 12 days of drinking beer constantly. 100 and 120 prismatic shards. Over 120 days, right? Also, we had 1.2 million geishos donated to Yoba. Um, by some point. It really won't be that long that we'll be able to afford that. So I'm not going to put a deadline. We'll do it. We'll definitely do it before the prismatic shards run out. And um, floor 120 mines unlocked. Skull key. There is something poetic about getting the skull key as well as a result of this, you know? Like Granny's been avoiding the skull key for so long. It would make sense that now she has to get the skull key. And maybe, okay, maybe the grace of Yoba in the Junimos was allowing the mistake to go unnoticed for so long so that we would be able to get those good, uh, what is it, Skull Cavern runs, right? That the fact that we were able to go to the Skull Cavern, the beginning of year two, Desert Festival, without getting to floor 120 of the mines and being able to dive down with the monsters on lower health and lower defense, right? That was the grace we received. But now it's time for Granny to grow up, all right? It's time for Granny to pay her penance. Oh, we are for sure. I'm gonna off stream, I'm gonna create some slides for this for sure. We're gonna have a full slide dedicated to the penance, to the Demetrius. I mean the Demetrius dilemma. To be fair, we can't blame Demetrius, you know. Although I want to. I hate Demetrius. Yeah. Uh, yeah, don't forget about other quests though. You have other responsibilities. Yeah, so that's the other thing. We still have to continue all and completing all our other responsibilities with birthdays, help wanted quests, special orders boards, all of that stuff. What, beer only in Skull Cavern? Oh my god, no, that's just mean. uh, Yeah, I think all three punishments, but they would be perfection goals. Like you would do all three and then buy the golden clock when you reach perfection. 100 days of stoning Marnie. No. Well, no, we can't do that. And for the simple reason that Marnie's body is original to the good Marnie, right? And we don't want to damage her flesh. And it's not her fault that her body got possessed by a demonic Junimo, right? So we can't do that. Also, remember, it's the subconscious region of Marnie's brain that is still active that enables us to have hearts with Marnie, even though she's actually possessed by uh, Lunimo, right? So if we hit her with stones, that actually causes damage to your friendship. Like you lose friendship points when you use a slingshot and hit all the villagers in town. And we can't do that. Remember, we can't take any shame. That was one of the original rules. So that is a funny one, Views. I like that. Can Granny even make an offering on Wednesdays? Yes. Pierre's is now open on Wednesdays, I believe. I think once you complete the community center, Pierre stays open on Wednesdays. But obviously, if we can't do it because the game won't let us go in, like on a festival day, for example, on a festival day we can't donate the prismatic. So maybe we'll just have to do it on another day, right? We'll just do it the day before or the day after, right? But yeah, we have to leave it on the altar. It's so fitting as well, since Grandpa was the high priest at the chapel before he died. And that's true, Natalie. Can I make the slides and spreadsheets available for you guys? I should make a copy of it. I should. I'll do that. I'll make a copy, um, and you guys can access, or I don't know. Maybe I could also just make this viewable and let you guys click on it and be able to see. Um, but uh, but yeah, let me see. Deletrius. There's a saying where I am from, nice trees where I am from, nice trees burn with rotten ones. Oh, okay. So yeah, let's also let's add that to our spreadsheet over here. Right? So we need one that's a checklist for I'm just gonna write Prizzies. I'm gonna put it like that. And this then I'll just say um, donate. Or what is it? It's not like you're donating it. Offer to Yoba. There we go. Offer to Yoba. Um, I mean, we don't act. I mean, it doesn't have to be a separate column. But yeah. Actually, I'm gonna do it over here. I think it'll be better. I mean, where should it go on the sheet? Because I kind of feel like it should be before this. Insert column left. Um, and actually, it only needs to be one column, and we're just going to make it Prizzy. And so you have to click every day. We have to donate a Prizzy, at least until we've done 120 of them, right? Something like that, right? Making it viewable makes more sense than making a separate copy. That way you can check on any updates on the lore. Okay, that's a good point, Zio. That's true. If I want to work separately, I could also just work in a copy of it and then copy it over. You don't like the idea of a deadline. It will make the challenge a speed run and it won't feel cozy. Wait, a deadline for what, Buse? A deadline for the Prizzies? Well, I mean, the deadline for the Prizzies is a daily deadline. One Prizzy per day keeps the reset away. And arguably, we would never have to actually reset. We can just reset the day over and over until we get a Prizzy. Like we could literally just go fishing and just and wait until we get a chest, a treasure chest with a Prizzy in it. That would be ridiculous. But obviously, if we get to floor 120, we can just dive down in a skull cavern, and that's probably a more efficient way of getting prismatics. Maybe not though, because if we take damage, if we take a lot of damage in skull cavern, then yeah. But yeah. But yeah. Um, All right, let's hop into Stardew. I mean, it's already like 8:30 here. I can't believe we've spent literally 2 hours talking about this. What was wait, so the Prizzy, wait, I'm gonna double check. We have um oh yeah, the 12 days of drinking beer. The Prizzies are the ones that are more like time whatever. These first two are kind of time dependent, right? We do them for a certain number of days. And then well, this one, yeah, when do we get floor 120? I guess we just have to get it immediately. We have to go to the mines and do it immediately. Or within reason, right? Like, um, and then yeah, donating to Yoba. That we can do. Offered. It's not a donation, right? We're offering it to Yoba as a sacrifice. Can't believe that. I can't believe this. Oh, one Prizzy a day keeps the reset away. Hey Stacy, what's up? Welcome in. You really missed a lot. I mean, we haven't even gotten into Stardew yet because, oh my God. Yeah. Basically, we realized that one of our help wanted quests was not turned in on like day 11, spring year one. And it created a whole kerfuffle. There is a rift in the ether of whether or not we need to reset the challenge. Um, we've been talking about it in lore crafting a bit to say, is it justifiable that we continue the challenge or reset? We've decided we are going to continue, but Granny has to pay penance. She has to pay penance. And and I should also clarify that this is not something that you can do like in advance, right? Like you can't like be like, "Oh, strategically, I'm just going to skip Vincent's birthday and do these things instead," right? Like you can't do it. The only reason we're doing this as penance is because the statute of limitations expired, right? And the mistake went unnoticed for this how many months? Uh, so it was only just brought to my attention by someone watching episode 2 of this attempt that we didn't actually turn this help wanted quest in. So that's the short of it. And we talked quite a bit. We voted on things. But we've decided we gotta go. I think the hardest thing is yeah, is getting floor 120 and then also doing these prismatic shards. That's actually really tough. 120 prismatic shards donated. One per day is actually really insane. Is that too much? That actually, I mean, that's more than a year of donating prismatic shards. That basically guarantees, that might be too much now that I'm thinking about it. It basically guarantees every week we have to spend a full day in Skull Cavern collecting prismatic shards. Hold on, wait. Let's first of all take a quick look at this. The prismatic shard. Oh, it comes from a bunch of different things. You literally gasped out loud thinking I was going to have to start over, Stacy. Well, uh, you created a savage cult here, May. I know you. I didn't realize y'all were so savage. Yeah, it has to be in good faith, right? That seems way too much for the crime. And you'll have to keep up with birthdays and quests along with daily prismatic shards. 120-day doctor visits for dementia. uh, change it to 1 year of Prizzies minus festival days. Views, you feel 120 Prizzies is too much. Prizzy a day, there is something beautiful about giving a prismatic shard every day. But thinking about it, getting one prismatic per day actually could be really tough. But let's see, is there a way, like, let me just see here real quick. You get a 3.8% chance from a treasure room. You get 3.5% from iridium nodes. That's typically where you're going to get them. The Omni Geodes have a small chance, mystery boxes as well. Very small chance. A 1 in 1,000 chance. Is that, yeah, 1 in 100 would be 1%. So 0.1% is a 1 in 1,000 chance from a serpent or a mummy. So that, I mean, that's like, you're not going to get it. You know what I mean? You like the monster eradication goal for serpents is only 250. Right? So you wouldn't even expect to get a single one while completing. And I don't want to kill more serpents than necessary. Right? Everything else is so low. You know, the Statue of True Perfection gives them. too, too bad we don't have that yet. The Blessing of the Butterfly, we did get that whatever, but even then the Blessing of the Butterfly doesn't show up every day, you know. And then also it's only a 17.5% chance that you're going to actually get the prismatic shard from it once you find it running around on the map. I am thinking that maybe the 120, like one per day, is too much. Maybe we do need to give 120 prismatic shards, but they don't have to be done every day. Like before we can achieve perfection, we have to donate 120 prismatic shards. Then I feel more comfortable with it because it gives us more flexibility when we go to Skull Cavern. Right? Or is 120 still too much? Because I'm making this decision now, not fully grasping how many hours of Skull Cavern diving that's going to be. Because we still can't take damage, you know? And yeah, if you get more than one shard on a day, that does count for the next day. We only need to donate one per day in this, according to this rule. And so that's the problem is like, even on a really good luck day in the mines, like you know, I could get maybe like 5 to 8 prismatic shards. I feel like that's really good luck. And that's also using, that also assumes that we use like 100 to 150 staircases. We aren't going to have that many staircases, right? That's where I'm starting to think this is going to be too hard, because once we use all our staircases, the jade, we don't have that many crystallariums set up. We need to make more crystallariums with jades. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's a small chance enemies will drop the prismatic shard once we get to floor 120. That's a small silver lining, but it's such a small chance. Like, do you see this? A 0.05%. That's 5 in 10,000, right? That's five five prismatic shards per 10,000 enemies killed. That's basically nothing. That's negligible for our purpose, right? The only one that really matters is this, because when we get to because we can break a lot of iridium nodes, right? We can break a lot of iridium nodes, but the problem is those iridium nodes exist deep in Skull Cavern, and we can't use drop shafts because that causes damage. We have to use ladders, and it just takes too long, and it's too expensive to use those ladders or staircases, whatever. It takes too long to find ladders, and it's too expensive to make the staircases unless we purchase the stone from Robin. But you guys have no idea. You know how expensive that is? Remember, we saved up all our money to purchase stone at the end of year one so that we could make a bunch of staircases. Now, those year one prices are multiplied by 5, right? So instead of stone costs 20 gesos in year one, it's 100 gesos. Let's just double check the price. Does it say on here? Yeah, yeah, it goes from 20 to 100 gesos in year two. And you need 99 per staircase, right? So 9,900, 9,900 gesos per staircase. Hold on, let me do this. Right, 90, it would be 99 times 100 times 150. Like on average, I think I would need about 150 staircases to get a solid Skull Cavern run. That's 1.5 million. That's 1.5 million gesos that we would need to spend every week, essentially, right? Every week we would need to do a full Skull Cavern run. One full day would just be spent Skull Cavern diving. And even then, we're going to have to reset the day a bunch of times because A, we're going to be taking damage. B, we're just not going to get lucky. Like, there are going to be runs where we just get no prismatic shards. And we need to get like 7, you know. So I feel like the Prizzy per day is maybe, it's not that it's too hard, it's just that it's going to change the nature of the challenge too much. And it's going to turn the challenge into a Skull Cavern simulator, which I don't think is what we want for the spirit of the challenge or the spirit of the punishment, right? Maybe we'll still do the 120 prismatic shards, but just not per day, because I just feel like that's too painful. But maybe we still need to give one per week or something like that. But yeah, 120 prizzies before you get perfection sounds reasonable. Although, you know what's kind of fun? Wouldn't do we want to give the prismatics per like on a, one at a time? Or would you rather see me drop a stack of 120 prismatics all at once and leave and just leave it all there at once? Which one do you think is better? Although there is something more religious about going often and donating one at a time. The 120 meals idea sounds so good. Oh yeah, I missed this. Buse. Sorry if I'm missing some of you guys. Yeah, Buse had mentioned Granny cooking 120 meals every week for the homeless. And Mechanic is saying, how about a year of giving each character 2 loved gifts every week? A year of giving each character 2 loved gifts every week? That is that possible? I'm just worried. Like, is there might be a few villagers that mess this up, you know? And if I mess up, if I don't have the item and it's not possible to get within a week, do I have to reset the challenge? That one is really tough, but I'm not ruling it out. I'm not ruling it out. And the 120 meals every week is hilarious. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I have to think about that. Obviously, it wouldn't be hard to do it if I just purchase enough wheat and I just make bread. I could make 120 loaves of bread every week or something like that for a year. Yeah, Buse is coming up with a lot of good ideas. Um, but that's what you're saying, May. You've hijacked the whole challenge with this. It's excessive, right? The 120 prizzies might be too much. But yeah, but without a time frame, right? 120 prizzies without a time frame is more reasonable. Um, the loved gift idea seems rough. But wait, I mean, yeah, giving the gifts. I do like the idea of like we have to give gifts to make up for it, but yeah, how much is enough, right? And without it being like crazy. And yeah, mechanic, I guess in this case, we could use the iridium rabbit's feet, right? It could be acceptable with the exception of Penny, right? We'd have to give her the like melons. But the other problem is we don't actually have that many rabbits yet. But yeah, if we accept the universal loved gifts, then it could be possible with the rabbit's feet. And they don't have to be iridium rabbit's feet, right? A regular rabbit's foot is enough. Marina says bread is not a meal. What? Restarted the challenge way back then. It should be something that hard. What do you mean? Oh, since we've gotten away with it for so long, like we need to kind of pay it back to the village. Maybe you have to give Demetrius 2 loved gifts a week for a year. Oh, that's painful. I like that though. Maybe not loved gifts, but at least liked gifts. I would rather do loved gifts, but like just uh like maybe one per week. One loved gift per week for every villager could be doable. We could make a routine, like she could visit the doctor for dementia on Mondays, Sundays for the meal, maybe gift giving on Wednesday, maybe giving 24 gifts, something like this. That could be a crazy a new level of the challenge, actually. I'm gonna write this down. Hold on. We could do it like, um, well, okay. Let's rule out the 120 days because also, yeah, if you think about it, the giving gifts is a more appropriate penance for Granny than being forced to do skull cavern dives for prismatic shards, right? But I do feel like 120 prismatic shards is part of it. Yes. The other thing is, yeah, give every villager one loved gift every week for 1 year. Um, but Demetrius gets two gifts. Oh, how do we? So one of the okay, here's the problem with this. I don't actually know if I would even be able to do this. Giving every villager a loved gift. Because some of the gifts, like, I don't know if, oh, that would be so tough. But I do like the idea that it could sort of follow Granny having like a schedule or something, like she'll do certain villagers on certain days, right? It's very Granny-esque, but at the same time, it does also kind of take over the challenge, like, because going around and giving these gifts does take quite a bit of time. Um, not as bad as Skull Cavern. Like, we could feasibly take 1 day, run around and give the gifts all in 1 day. Do birthday gifts count for this? No. I'm gonna say that if it's your birthday, you get an extra gift. Right? If it's your birthday, you get an extra loved gift. Your birthday gift doesn't count towards this punishment. The birthday gift is extra. Yeah, giving gifts is a very Granny penance. Every villager is hard. Every villager sounds too much. You will run out of loved gifts at some point. You do need to stock up on cookable items. The punishment should be in some kind of proportion to the crime. But you can't give two gifts on the same day. True, yeah. Yeah. But every week, you know, over the week I'd have to give all these gifts. It is crazy to think about because, I mean, these are all the villagers, and there are 206 unique, or not unique gifts, because some of them repeat, but well, 145 unique gifts, assuming, well, all the books count as one, whatever. But over here, 206 different loved gifts for all of the villagers. So, okay, let's just see. For some of them, super easy. Abigail, amethysts. That's easy. Um, for Alex, impossible. Alex might be impossible because we would need to get the complete breakfast and the salmon dinner. And here, let me just show you guys here. Look at this. Oh, we do actually have the complete breakfast recipe already. And so we should have, like, what, pancakes and hash browns as well. Wheat, flour, and egg. We can do that. And then the hash browns, we also have this recipe. potato and oil. I think, oh, do we have enough potatoes? And the fried egg as well. Oh my God, this recipe. And the salmon dinner. Yeah, I don't know if we have enough amaranth or salmon. Yeah, some of this stuff would actually be really tough to do. One, even just one loved gift per week would be tough. Like that would just turn the birth, like this is like birthdays in hard mode. It's literally everyone's birthday every week for a year. And sure, there could be universals, but like the rabbits that we have don't produce enough rabbit's feet currently. I don't know if we would even be able to survive with this punishment long enough to get the rabbits in their, to get their hearts up to be producing rabbit's feet more often. You can buy Alex's meals from Gus, but what do you mean? Like these aren't. Can you purchase hash browns and pancakes from Gus? No. It's in the rotating stock. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we do have Ginger Island, but then the problem is we don't have all the seeds. I think I only have 25. I do have 25 potato seeds. We have seed makers. This is so stupid. We have seed makers and we can transform the potatoes. Oh my God, this is like giving me a headache because now it's like it's hard enough to remember everyone's birthday, but now we have to keep track of all of this. Maybe that's my objection to it is that the punishment would require, I mean, a spreadsheet on a level you haven't even seen. Imagine this, but then I have how many is it, like 24 columns of names, and I have to go, and this could be maybe be like week 1 or whatever, and I got to go and check and check all the names off. And then what if I accidentally pull a Jas and I give a summer spangle instead of the fairy rose, right? And I mess up, and then do we reset the challenge for that? Max number would be how many villager valley has min would be 1. Wait, what? I don't know if I understood that. You could get Pierre's list from Mr. G. What? Oh, Pierre's list. It's the rotating stock list from Mr. Qui. The views. I'm like having to interpret some of your typing. The challenge is still hijacked. Yeah, is the challenge too hijacked by the penance? For everyone's birthday, we give a prismatic shard as a bonus to the loved gift, except for Haley. Maybe that, okay, that actually could be interesting. I could maybe take that. So for example, um, wait, do we give the prismatic shard to the person or do we donate it or do we offer it to Yoba on the birthday? Hold on. I'm just looking for the I think it's yeah, friendship over here. This is the page. Prismatic shard is a universally loved item. That's another okay, that's a good we could change all of the universally loved gifts to prismatic shards. You have to give, or we could make it a double. So you have to give a normal loved gift on their birthday and a prismatic shard on another day. Because you can't give two gifts on one day, right? Is there yeah, yeah. And only Haley. Haley is the only one that hates the prismatic shard. That's another possibility. We could replace their loved gift with prismatic shards. That would be hard. Or we could do both on the birthday week. Um but even then, if you look at it, so that would be what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, 9 gifts in summer, 9 prismatic shards. Yeah, I guess that would kind of make sense, right? There's like 7 people in spring, 9 people in winter, and 8 people in fall. So yeah, about 8 per whatever. I do like these ideas. I think we're coming up with some good ideas. But hold on, let me come back. Yeah, you could get a salmon fish pond. That's a good idea for Alex. And there should be some prep time allowed. That's another possibility. Maybe we don't need to start doing it now, but we have some prep time and then we start giving them. Maybe we could make this gift giving easier with like every week we would get a random number with like Google number generator, then give that many gifts that week. That's an interesting possibility. I'm not against that. Um, Max, oh, sorry, I missed some of the messages earlier, Views, and that's when you were talking about max and min. Okay, that's what you meant by the random number generator. Yeah. You like the RNG idea mechanic? So the RNG idea being like we choose a we use RNG to determine how many gifts we need to give that week. But even then that's a lot. Like and Marina says too many gifts in your opinion. Maybe you would just have to give 2 loved gifts a week for a month instead of a whole year. Yeah, maybe. Um, or 2 loved gifts for every villager up to 120 gifts. um, let me see, villagers, right? There's 12 of the bachelors, and how many non-marriage candidates is this? 3, 6, 9, 10, 20, 22. 22 plus 12 is 34, right? There are 34 giftable NPCs. On average, we'll be giving 17 loved gifts per week. Or wait a second. if we're giving 2 per villager, then it would be 34 loved gifts per week on average. Some weeks we'll be doing more than that. Can you imagine in 1 week giving out what, nearly 70 loved gifts? Oh. Yeah, Leah, it's too much for you. You don't know what's happening. I'm also getting tired. Like, and I'll have to end the stream here, I think, before we actually get into to play Stardew because yeah, I was not expecting. But on the same on the other hand, I'm at the same time very glad that we are coming up with a system of moving forward that remains true to the challenge, um, and gives us something to look forward to. Right? I actually am excited about this. Like, definitely, I think the floor 120 mines, obviously, we're gonna do that. It makes the challenge harder, but I think it's what we got to do. Giving the gesos to Yoba in the form of starfruit wine could be fun. Um, Drinking the beer constantly for 12 days would be kind of hilarious. 120 prismatic shards. Uh, that also is challenging, but it can be done. Um, the loved gifts every week. I love the idea, but the actual execution of it might be too hard as a form of penance because then give every villager a loved gift on the same day. That's the platonic love bomb. We would basically be doing a platonic love bomb plus a love apocalypse every week. Give 2 loved gifts and talk to every villager to check all boxes on the social tab. Um, right, and the cluster bomb, we'd be able to do that once we're dating them. I think the cluster bomb needs to be that you give all 12 singles loved gifts on the same day, while dating them at the same time. And the fartfection, achieve the maximum hearts possible at once on the social tab. You like the idea of also offering a prismatic for Yoba every birthday? Yeah, that's a good one. That that we could do. Maybe they could be connected as well. I don't know. I was thinking that might be too overly complicated, but like, what if we have to we have to give extra gifts until we pay off the prismatic shards? Like, right? So it incentivizes us to do the prismatic shards. And but so in addition, but yeah, it's like giving 1 loved gift every week. Every villager is a lot. And the RNG thing is kind of fun, but I don't know, it could be really punishing as well. And it might make it impossible, especially if we get like several weeks where the numbers are really high. Um, and basically, we would have to keep giving extra gifts, right, every week until we've paid off the prismatic shards to Yoba. Yeah. Or have gotten to, but only 1 extra a week. Yeah, Stacy says at some point it seems like it would be easier just to restart. uh, you could resort to liked gifts. Even Granny has to be cheap once in a while. The penitence should have a time limit, like a finishing point. Not exactly a deadline, but a finishing line. Yes. Yeah, I mean, obviously we have to do it before perfection, right? Um, but having, yeah, another finish line in terms of like, oh, we do it for 1 year or whatever. You could double gift. It's more than Mr. Quee demands for his challenge. Maybe one extra loved gift a week until all villagers have gotten one. Or have gotten two, but only one extra a week. And once you complete a long-term goal, is it crossed in the list? Yeah, yeah. Then I'll cross it off. These longer term goals are all uh the love related goals that I put on here. Bonus goals are also kind of longer term typically because sometimes I put stuff here that I know I'm not going to finish in the season. But yeah, I will cross them off when they're done. Yeah. Yeah, we're just brainstorming at the moment. I'll think about it. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do. I'm going to think a little bit because I also maybe need to look at people's gifts and really then see, like, okay, what actually makes sense where it adds to the challenge, but it doesn't completely co opt the challenge. Because also you have to remember, we're already getting so punished by getting floor 120 of the mines, right? Floor 120 of the mines is already quite the challenge. That adds a lot of difficulty to the rest of our playthrough, at least for the monster eradication goals. And then also doing all these extra gifts. Remember how long a year is. Remember, like, doing 1 year, doing just year one took forever. And we're only like halfway, we're not even halfway done with year two. We're still in the middle of summer. Right? So remember that as well. You just decide a certain number to give every week. Not everyone. I like the idea of doing it until you've paid off the prismatic shards. Yeah. I mean, here's one idea. Here's another idea. We have to give instead of giving a loved gift to every villager every week, because that's 34 loved gifts per week. What if instead we do one loved gift per day, random? So we still get the random generator. It gives us a random villager. But also maybe to keep it fair to the villagers, once they've been selected, they're removed from the pool, right? And so then eventually we go through all the villagers before doing it again, and we have to give one loved gift per day because that seems more doable because we do have a lot of loved gifts. And especially if we start getting up the we gives us that buys us a little more time to get the rabbit's feet, and we have to give that loved gift unless it's a festival day, or if somehow it's impossible to give the gift. Like, I don't know, maybe we'll see. I think all the villagers should be accessible every day, right? Except on festival days. um But yeah, I kind of like that idea. We'll do every morning we have to roll the dice, and it gives us a villager we have to go gift. And also it's kind of fun because then we can't really plan. We just have to know, right, that we have to be ready to go find them and give them a gift every one loved gift per day, plus a prismatic shard donated to Yoba on every birthday until we've paid off 120 120 prismatic shards. So it still pressures us. We have 18 prismatic shards. So that buys us some time before we have to go back to Skull Cavern. And we can't go back to Skull Cavern until we need to unlock floor 120 of the mines. But that way, we only need to do like one really good Skull Cavern run per month, as opposed to per week. That also kind of adds a little more challenge as well, because otherwise I don't really have a reason to go to Skull Cavern and collect prismatic shards, right? I would only go to Skull Cavern to eradicate the monsters. So I feel like this is upping the ante. This is hard mode now for Granny. But eventually we will pay off the prismatic shards. And we have to, oh my God, we have to be careful about how many, having enough gifts. Because imagine, it, okay, I like the idea that we take the villager's name out of the pool once they've been given a gift. Because what if you get really unlucky and get if I got Alex 3 days in a row? Very unlikely, but if that happened, that could kill the run just because we just don't have access to salmon, whatever, or it's like it's not even in season, right? It just might be impossible. So I like the idea. One loved gift per day with prismatic shards donated to Yoba every birthday until we get 120 prismatic shards. Right. So that'll motivate us as well to donate extra prismatic shards so that we don't have to keep gifting every day. Or is that too much? Is that too much? What do you guys think? That's a lot of penance. It's easy to devise a hard punishment, not so easy to come up with a medium one. The RNG for the loved gifts sounds good. Is the idea that if you fail the penance, you have to start over. Yeah, I guess so, right? Yeah, wait a second. Is the penance something that we can really fail? Because I kind of feel like that we have to do it, right? Like it can't be optional. Maybe every Sunday, one Prizzy, because some weeks has like 3 to 4 birthdays until perfection. That's actually a good idea. And then it's more consistent. Or it's more, yeah. Every Sunday we donate a Prizzy. And then maybe birthdays, it's optional. We don't have to donate a Prizzy on birthdays. And yeah, it should be distributed between all the villagers. And Kaimo, you're still 100% for Drunk Granny. We can still do Drunk Granny. Yeah, you still think once a week for extra gifts is plenty, and each villager gets their gift. Plus the prizzies if you really want to. You're for realistic and fun, not guaranteed run ruiner. Yeah. I guess that yeah, do you guys think the one loved gift per day is too strict or too difficult? I feel like we have lots of gifts saved up. But yeah, I mean, we would basically go through all the villagers, I mean, well, every 34 days, right? So, and each season is only 28 days. We would really start going through a lot of the gifts. But that's also why we have these loved gifts. I'll have to think about it. And maybe I'll look at my farm, I'll look at my spreadsheet to see kind of like, okay, is it even realistic? Because I mean, we could start getting a lot more rabbits as well, just to be safe. And prismatic shards do count as loved gifts. We could give the prismatic shards, but if we give the prismatic shard as a gift, then it doesn't count as an offering to Yoba. Oh my god. Buse is saying, I think it would be enough to unlock floor 120 and one other punishment. Yeah. The most exciting chat day ever. I almost feel like, man, this has to be the most boring stream. We haven't even played Stardew. We've just been talking about the Demetrius dilemma. I have to say, this has gone in a totally different direction than I expected. But in a very good way. I'm actually glad that we're coming up with, I'll put it in bold. For sure, we're going to unlock floor 120. How about this? Let's remove the 1.2 million offered to Yoba. I'm just going to cross it out so we can still see it, because it's like that isn't that hard, and the way we would give it would just be like dropping starfruit wine on the ground. I kind of feel like we already, yeah, the prismatic shards is going to be really tough. I actually like the idea of 120 prismatic shards, and then thinking about how we give them, right? Because if we have to give one prismatic shard per week. Here, I'm going to write something else here. Okay. All right. Offer one Prizzy per week to Yoba. And give one loved gift per day to a random villager. What I'm hesitating here on is the per day. Because another way we could do this would be we pick at the beginning of the week. You could get advance notice, right? That you would basically at the beginning of the week pick 7 villagers and then decide, okay, what days you're going to give them on. So you're not like trapped with one. But I don't know. I like the idea of also like rolling the dice at the beginning of every day just to see. Like that's kind of fun. Yeah, you don't want this run to turn into some hardcore speed run like challenge. Yeah, Marina, I thought you guys were going to agree with me. But yeah. Um, yeah. Let's think a little bit about this. All right. I'm going to wrap up the stream here before we make the final decision, because I would like to look at what gifts we have, because it might be, I don't want to pick something and it just ends up being too easy. Um, but also I don't want to pick something thinking, oh, we can do it, and then it turns out it's like way too hard. And of course, maybe it's not that big of a deal if we change the rules on the penance as opposed to the rules for the challenge, right? So there could be some flexibility with the timing of these gifts. Like one love gift per day might be too grindy, even if it's possible. Because 120 prismatic shards is a lot. Yeah. Buse says maybe you could give 4 gifts because the quest was giving 4 fish to Demetrius. That's another good idea, actually. Maybe that, yeah, okay. Just give 4 loved gifts to every villager ASAP. So not a super strict deadline, uh, but that is also in the spirit of I like this one actually. 4 gifts to every villager. I guess that would kind of end up being like this other one. 1 gift per day for like a year. Because 4 gifts, I mean, what's that? 34 times 4. That's a what, 136? 136 gifts, but no time limit. And I don't know, maybe if we do that, it should only be 12 prismatic shards. Oh, grinding, because yeah, I'm thinking about this. Like, we would have to reset Skull Cavern a lot because it just wouldn't make sense to spend 150 staircases to go down and only get like, 2 or 3 prismatic shards, even if it was a great day otherwise. Like, if because remember how long it took us to get to be successful only for 3 days, right? We were only going down for 3 days. And even on those 3 days, I should mention, floor 120 of the mines was not unlocked. We also got an extra bonus for luck and speed from what's his face, the chef, because it was the desert festival. So we had like extra luck. And on our luckiest day, was it the first day, we got 9 prismatic shards, which is crazy. And then the next couple days, I think we got like, was it 5? And then I don't know, 4. I think we ended up with 18. Um, and yeah, it's just not realistic to. I do like the idea of 12 prismatic shards and giving them one per week. 120 sounded really nice. But we already have 120 with floor 120. Like, that already kind of covers our symmetry basis, right? Oh, you meant 4 gifts forever? Or, yeah. Or just 4 gifts per week instead of 1 gift per day. So 1 gift per day is 7 per week. We could only just do 4 gifts per week. And then we can use whatever RNG at the beginning of the week to select the people that we're giving the gifts to. I'll just write no deadline. Give 4 gifts per week to random villagers for 1 year. That's another way to do it. That could be interesting, actually. Yeah. Man, I mean, I could talk about this for like another hour. Yeah, you're getting lightheaded. Too much brainstorming happened tonight. I know. But yeah, I know it's not the most entertaining thing, but I do feel like getting it right, getting the right penance will make us feel better about moving forward together. And also, um, crafting the lore around it will be really fun. I'm sure that I'll take a look at this tomorrow and I'll feel better. I'll probably After some coffee, I'll be like, okay, this one seems the best. Like, because I think also part of the problem of doing like one gift, doing something that lasts for a full year also feels like maybe too much. I'd rather do something hard that lasts a shorter time. But yeah, or like giving a loved gift every day, I think it was like, yeah, way too much. Give every villager one loved gift every week for 1 year. Yeah, that has to be way too hard. 34 loved gifts every week. That's crazy. And the loved gift per day is kind of cute and fun. That granny just out of the goodness of her heart, picks a random villager and gonna go give her a loved gift. But but it could be too hard. I guess it's like how long you're gonna do it for, right? But yeah. But you did enjoy the stream. Okay, I'm glad. You're lightheaded, but I guess it was still fun. It was an emotional roller coaster, all right? And this was been one of the most entertaining streams though, because look, you guys are invested. You're invested in the challenge. I've got you hooked. Granny, Granny is like a real person to y'all. That's how I feel when I'm like reading books. When I really get into a character, like if I'm reading A Song of Ice and Fire, like all those characters from the Game of Thrones books, they feel so real to me. Like I feel like they actually existed. The way that they're written, it's so compelling. So I hope Granny is that for y'all. I hope that now the lore I've invented has infected your understanding of Stardew. So now when you play on your own, you're like, oh yeah, that's evil Marnie. She's possessed by a fallen Junimo. Like that's part of the actual game now for you. But yeah, the discussion was really nice. Felt like you were part of something good. Yeah, yeah. Well, good. Okay, I'm glad that at least slowing down the challenge because we're not playing Stardew on this stream. It was worth it that you guys got uh, to contribute. And I guess people watching the VOD can just skip. Y'all can just skip the VOD and those people will be satisfied in a different way. It'll be fine. Yeah, do whatever's most fun to you. Yeah, that's the thing. I want to keep the challenge fun, but not too easy. Not too easy. And poor Leah, she goes, I don't know what's happening anymore, but Sebastian loves frogs, by the way. I feel most guilty that Leah, who feels that it's a filthy run. Oh yeah, we've fallen for Granny, hook, line, and sinker. The way she fell for Willie, couldn't help it. Kaimo is hinting at the beers. Pin a comment in the VOD explaining that there is no Stardew today, only fights. A healthy discussion, all right, a healthy debate. It was entertaining to see how you guys reacted when y'all immediately were like, you have to reset. Like, so when I tried to explain why, I was like, guys, no, maybe we could keep going, maybe we could, and y'all were like, no, not all of y'all, but some of y'all were like, oh my god, no, reset the challenge. It would be really funny if after all of this tomorrow I come back and I'm like, hey guys, we're resetting the file. We're starting over. uh yeah, I mean, that argument is still there. I feel like we've moved beyond it, but yeah, uh it's a really tough challenge. And we're trailblazers. We're trailblazers. Maybe someone after us will come along and make a mod that makes it, easier to keep track of when you've messed up so you can reset to achieve a more pure ending. But since we're trailblazers, we're given the grace of Yoba to have a statute of limitations on when mistakes, mean resetting the file. And the fact that we're doing a penance is really beautiful. Okay. And it fits Granny's personality as well because she's kind of a guilty person, She kind of like she feels guilty about not taking care of other people and and like so she feels really guilty about Demetrius, even though Demetrius didn't even register the her talking, not turning in the whatever the quest emotionally. But yeah, Zio, you also feel like it's a filthy run. Ah, you guys. Y'all are so impossible. Maybe I change my mind tomorrow. Let's sleep on it. It is possible. I mean, maybe I'll wake up and be like, you know what? It's a filthy run. Reset. But oh, that would be so painful to lose. Lucius. Think about Lucius. I mean, I guess we'll get Lucius again, but still, that would be so sad. Season 6, yeah, attempt number 6, episode 1. Imagine I post the live stream tomorrow and it says that. That y'all would be like, "Oh shit." uh yeah, resetting near episode 10, maybe even 20 would be okay, but we're too deep. It's episode 46. Yeah. Yeah, and obviously we could still reset if we still mess something up, right? Like Jas. We almost messed up Jas's birthday. Um so I would still reset, at this point, but because it happened so long, it was episode 2. Episode 2 of the challenge. It's crazy. Yeah. Mechanics like don't reset. When did you start the first attempt? Like 2 years ago? Not that long ago. No, the first attempt was, I mean, it was right around August or September. Um, Wait, was it June? Was it really that long ago? Wow. I haven't even registered that we've been playing this much Stardew for so long. That's crazy. June the 26th is when we started the challenge, the very attempt number 1. Oh yeah, that totally makes sense because attempt number 4 lasted so long. How many episodes did we get into attempt number 4? We got all the way to Marnie's birthday. We were we were really far into that attempt. And now we're we're well into this one, attempt number 5. And Leah has a point. Doesn't matter when the mistake was done, it's still breaking a rule. If Trump can get off on the statute of limitations, so can Granny. Well, I don't know if Granny should be compared with Trump under any circumstances, even if it's in her own best interest. But yeah, no, it is so funny. It is so funny actually. Um it's crazy. It is, but also imagine if we completed this whole challenge and I moved on and then someone else comments and says, "By the way, you didn't do this." Right? What if it wasn't discovered until after we beat the challenge? Then that would be crazy. Then it would be like, "Wait, then we wouldn't have even had the opportunity to do a penance." Granny visited the island. That's awful. That's awful. Uh, yeah. Season 6 of Stardew Valley expanded. I've never played expanded. I don't know if I ever will. Um, but I don't know. We'll think about um some other stuff to do. I do really enjoy these Stardew challenges, so There is a part of me lately that has been wanting to try the grandpa challenge. At least in my mind right now, the grandpa challenge, and maybe I could add some other things to this, is a damageless run. To do a damageless run, hardcore. That would be the just what a badass grandpa, you know? Dude, you imagine how many times he's going to be reincarnated. It's not going to be attempt number 5. It's going to be like attempt number 40. Oh, that would. But I don't know. Maybe it's possible if you play in an extremely conservative way, where it's like almost boring. Then maybe it is possible. But it would just be resetting the minds over and over again. I would like to try it just to see what happens. But at the same time, it'd also be kind of nice to not have to worry about birthdays. You know, Grandpa doesn't give a crap about the villagers, right? His lore is going to be totally different from Granny. Or maybe he could also kind of exist in the same or a parallel universe of some kind. I don't know. That could still be pretty interesting. Like the Junimos would create the Grandpa challenge for him. Uh, but he has different, you know, different lore. You think doing a slightly imperfect run will only inspire other people to try to do it themselves. Yeah, maybe I'm leaving the door open for someone else to come along behind me to complete it, like in a more pure sense. Um, but yeah. Great. No matter how careful you are, sometime in a couple of years, some kind of mistake will occur. Yeah. Grandpa sounds like a fun, tough old bird. Like George would be if he still had his legs. Yeah. Yeah, and in that world, George would be childhood friends with Gramps, you know? Uh that would be pretty interesting. But yeah. Okay, guys. I should wrap up the stream. Oh my God. I'm so tired. I'm more tired having talked about like and what is the word? Theory crafted all of this together than I would have been if I had just played Stardew. I guess Stardew is relaxing in that sense, but still, when you're playing Stardew, you're like making lots of decisions and whatever. But yeah, let me come back to this because I do want to make a decision. What I think a good penance is that's still fun, challenging, but not crazy, and doesn't take over. Like it doesn't become such a chore that then it's like yeah, it takes over the challenge, right? It takes over everything that we do in the challenge. But we'll get there. All these moral agonizings. Exactly. Pray to Yoba, and thee shall receive. Yes. Yeah, yeah. Thank you guys for joining this. This was a very special live stream. I feel like we discussed a lot. This was a fork in the path moment, a Demetrius dilemma. Look at me. I'm a baby. This was so long ago. I can't even recognize myself in this photo. That's how long ago it was when the mistake was made, all right? I'm just trying to emphasize. And by the way, look, we're building Willie's. We were just starting to build Willie's fishing room. I mean, come on. We can't reset the challenge, guys. Granny was just getting into her decorating era. All right. But yeah, guys, if you are enjoying the live stream and the series, remember to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe even leave a comment on this video. Let me know what you think. If you have any other ideas about what the penance could be, I read all the comments, so feel free to leave it there. Or if you are very upset, you can also leave a comment saying that you think The penance isn't enough. I need to reset that. I got to reset the challenge. That's also fair. If you want to leave a comment like that, I'll read it. But yeah. Goodbye, and remember this run is filthy. Well, as long as if it helps you to say that, Leah, I will accept it. If it helps you to emotionally digest the decision we've made to continue the challenge, then that's the price that needs to be paid. I can understand. May Yoba show you mercy should be part of our payment. Yeah. Oh man, guys. Okay. Have a good one. And I'll be back tomorrow. Every Thursday we do our gaming stream. So I'll start streaming sometime between 6 and 7 p.m. And we will actually play Stardew. Okay, we'll actually open up the game. We'll have our penance decided. We'll get into it. Or if I change my mind, we'll reset the file. It's a cliffhanger, so stay tuned. Oh, all right, guys. Have a good one. And yeah, see you in the next live stream. Granny signing out.